The wife divorces him. She wants everything. She wants everything. Whoa. She wants more than half. She wants all the money that he's going to be making in the future because she was with him when he was broke. So it's fucking crazy. He's just tortured.
What a fucking idiot.
Wants to die. Wants to die.
What's up, guys? Oliver Anthony's latest song, Scornful Woman, tackles the nasty divorce that he is actually going through. The lyrics in the song actually says, the court says 50-50, but the math don't seem right. And it just reflects his perception on how this is actually being handled. Divorce is a very messy thing. Let's roll this other video here for a second, and then we'll get back to my thoughts on this.
Oliver Anthony has no money, right? He's poor. He's selling farm equipment. He puts his song on YouTube. He's a fucking superstar, right? He doesn't know what to do. He freaks out. He asked me for advice. I call him on the phone. We have a conversation for like a fucking hour where I go, don't sign anything with anybody. And he's like, they're telling me I have to strike while the iron's hot. I go, bullshit. They're trying to steal money from you. I go, you're independent. You're already there. You already made it. I know if you wrote that song.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you wrote that song, you could write a dozen of those fucking songs. You don't need anybody. He's like, they're offering me $7 million. I go, no. They're offering to steal money from you for the rest of your life. That's what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I go, you don't need them. You have talent. So cut to, he starts making millions of dollars, doing arenas. The wife divorces him. She wants everything. She wants everything. Whoa. She wants more than half. She wants all the money that he's going to be making in the future because she was with him when he was broke. So it's fucking crazy. He's just tortured.
What a idiot.
Wants to die. Wants to die. And he writes this song.
Really? Yeah. Well, he just wrote the...
Yo.
He just ethered his wife.
God,
that was Nas to Jay-Z.
What a diss track.
Bro, that's the craziest diss track of all time.
It's coming up so funny. Every divorced dude on earth is going to be just fucking...
The judge says 50-50, but the math don't seem right to a scorned woman.
Woo. Y'all are going to come at me with pitchforks and torches for this one. I already know, but the bottom line is I clocked Zach Bryan way before anybody else believed that there was something wrong with that gentleman. So I'll tell you right now, I will reserve judgment on Oliver Anthony until I hear the wife's side of the story. I want the wife's side of the story because Oliver Anthony can write all the songs in the world, but that's one side of the story. I want the wife's side of the story because Scornful Woman, I want to hear from the Scornful Woman because I have a feeling there's more to it than just a song and a little bit of money. I don't know. Y'all are going to crucify me, but there's just something a little bit about that guy. Listen, I like Richmond, North of Richmond as much as anybody else. It is a blue collar anthem, probably always will be, but there's something off about this. I want the wife's story.
Oliver Anthony's divorce is playing out very publicly with his wife, Tiffany, with his song Scornful Woman serving as a raw emotional response to how his divorce is playing out, in his opinion. You know, the crazy part is I've actually had friends, several men that have gone through divorce. And unfortunately, this is a reoccurring thing where a lot of women have a tendency, it always goes in their favor in the court system. 99% of the time it does, unless the wife is actually a complete and utter F up. But yeah, court normally favors the wife in these type of situations, even though she was not one that actually wrote the song or really had any kind of sort of I guess you could say she served as a muse on Scornful Woman. But this is one thing that's always very scary for men in general, to be married, generate enough capital to live comfortably, work hard day in, day out, and then worry about your relationship not panning out and a wife actually taking half of your stuff, half of your assets. Most times it's way more than that. And the man is left completely and utterly demolished and
financially.
So that is kind of what's going on here. In this situation, according to a lot of the documents here that has been coming out, his wife, Tiffany, actually wants more than half. She wants, money on his future earnings in the future. So, what do you do in this situation? You guys let me know in the comments what you actually think about this story. It's pretty crazy. Clearly his pain and frustrations are front and center here in this song and in the music. And it's just, to me, it's pretty sad when these things play out in public. Breakups are always hard enough without being famous and having it play out over everything. you know, when it comes to, you know, this type of situation. And Joe Rogan basically mentioned on here that Anthony just feels tortured, man. And he kind of just wants to die. You know, it's just constantly feeling like all this money that he has gathered and gained over the past year and a half or so since his song came out, Men North of Richmond, is now up for grabs. But yeah, you know what, guys? That's why you have to be really careful who you marry. But I do want to say this, you know, people change over time. And nobody foresees divorce coming when you're in love with someone. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you think about this particular story with Oliver Anthony. It's pretty sad to see someone getting a divorce and she wants her clause in his future earnings as well. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Take care. One love.